Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the historic High Bridge. Woo! What a great way to start off our celebration and meet in the middle between the Bronx and Manhattan. What a great indicator of what makes this High Bridge so important and so historic, that it brings together, it connects the Bronx and Manhattan in such a beautiful way. So really wonderful way to start off. I'm New York City Parks Commissioner Sue Donoghue, and I am so excited, thank you, to join you all today to celebrate the 175th anniversary of this amazing structure. The city recently celebrated the 140th anniversary of the Brooklyn Bridge, which many New Yorkers think is the oldest bridge in New York City. But as Uptown residents know, the High Bridge has the Brooklyn Bridge beat by 35 years. And it's been an iconic piece of local landscape for nearly 2 centuries. Before I say more about this very special bridge, I'd like to take a moment to introduce our speakers who are here with us today. I am so pleased to be joined by Department of Transportation Commissioner Ydanis Rodriguez is with us. We have, of course, got our Bronx Borough Commissioner in the House, Vanessa Gibson. Our great Manhattan Borough President, Mark Levine, with us. Councilmember Carmen de la Rosa is here. Councilmember Althea Stevens. Department of Design and Construction First Deputy Commissioner Eric Macfarlane. We're also so pleased to welcome Sonia Manzano of the Bronx Children's Museum, who many of us know as Maria from Sesame Street is with us. And someone who's worked so hard on this event and so many others for the High Bridge, we have Chauncy Young of the Harlem River Working Group, who was critical in organizing this event. I'd also like to acknowledge some very special guests joining us today. We've got New York City Parks First Deputy Commissioner Iris Rodriguez Rosa. We also have with us Councilmember Rafael Salamanca. Another important partner of ours at Parks, we've got Deputy Commissioner for DEP of Water and Sewer Operations, Tazos Strogelis is with us. Tazos, welcome. We also have the Performing Arts Group High Bridge Voices to help us celebrate. And then, most importantly, look at all these students. How much better is it to be out here on the High Bridge than to be in class today, right? What a great morning to be here. So we have students from Mott Hall School. We have PS 11. All right. We have PS 73. We have PS 126. We have PS 199. MS 361 and PS 114. All these students in the house. And then this is a little bit of a surprise, but I have to thank the FDNY who are sending a fireboat for our ceremony today. How cool is that? And then we're also joined by our fabulous borough commissioners. We've got our Bronx Borough Parks Commissioner, Jesse Aponte. And we've got our Manhattan Borough Parks our Manhattan Borough Parks Commissioner, who also hails from the Bronx, I will say. Anthony Perez is with us. We also have Leonardo Coelho of the Mayor's Community Affairs Unit, Elena Martinez, Bronx Music Heritage Center, Annette Arquilla, and Bean Blanca Band, who led us in some great music coming over. So just for the students, and to make it so, this is important, you're out of school this morning, just some background in history. This bridge was built in 1848. The High Bridge was part of the Old Croton Aqueduct system, which was the city's first reliable water supply. The aqueduct's original pipe still lies under the walkway of this bridge. The bridge's walkway opened in 1864, making it a popular spot to promenade and walk on a nice day, sort of like a 19th century High Line. During the 1970s, the bridge was closed to the public and remained closed for more than 40 years. And then in 2015, the bridge was reopened to the public, once again connecting these communities across the boroughs. And in 2021, we were also thrilled to reopen the beautiful High Bridge Water Tower for public tours after an extensive renovation. The views are amazing. I encourage everyone to take a look. And today, we invite you to participate in a water tower tour led by our very own Urban Park Rangers after this ceremony. And I understand that DEP will also lead tours of the Manhattan Gatehouse. So thank you, DEP. All of this work is part of more than $130 million being implemented to improve parks in this area. From our recent Anchor Parks reconstruction of High Bridge Park to ongoing renovations at Inwood Hill Park and Monsignor Ked Playground. All done with the goal of making our local parks more accessible and equitable than ever before. So with that, please now join me in welcoming my partner in the City Department of Transportation Commissioner, Ydanis Rodriguez. Ydanis.
Thank you, Sue. And Mayor Adams say that sometimes you see the glory, but not the story. And I feel that the most important thing that, as you said, for Commissioner Park, that we are doing today is celebrating the great work of so many men and women that in different administrations believe that what used to be the source of Manhattan getting the water on the tube that you are sitting right now. This was the only way that we used to have to bring the water to Manhattan. But there was a pandemic, and we figured out that we had to change the way of how we were bringing the water. And then now we're bringing water from different parts of Delaware and upstate New York. So Commissioner Park, DP, myself at DOT, we are here on behalf of Mayor Eric Adams with one purpose. Two, one, to celebrate the reopening of this bridge. A second, to start recruiting you from elementary to middle school to high school to explore the possibility in the future when you become engineers, when you become planner, for you to know that there's a home that you can work maintaining the infrastructure that now today Commissioner Sue Park, DP, and myself are responsible for. And for those younger ones that you have a mom and dad that they don't speak the language, I'm one of them. Because I'm the first commissioner that English is not my native language. I'm the first commissioner that came here as any of those immigrants that they come into New York City every day, and we have to support them because they will be us in the future. So let's take this moment to enjoy the beautiful green area. Hybrid Park, Fort Tryon Park, and Inwood Park together is almost 600 acres, the second largest green area after Central Park. But we have to protect our park. We have to walk in our park. This park belongs to us. So I can tell you one thing, that I never thought that I would be a commissioner of DOT leading the largest agency in the nation when it comes to the largest transportation system. I don't know, for the student, how many bridges do you think that we have in New York City? We have 800 bridges and tunnels. From 225th to 181st to this bridge, to Manhattan Bridge, to the Queensboro Bridge, and others across the 5 boroughs. So there's 500 men and women at DOT, engineers, planners, maintenance, paintings, building bridges. So there's just opportunity waiting for you in the future. But today is a day to say thank you to everyone. As a former council member, I put every single dollar to build the tower. And I just did it because when I was in Cape May, I went to the top in KMA and I found out that the individual in the top of the KMA tower, they were senior citizens, that they were there waiting at the top to tell the story to the visitor about the history of KMA. So there's a lot that we were here today from the park ranger. But I also know that as you go to the top, think about the history of this community. A community that welcomed the Jews that came from Germany, the Irish, the Italian, the Black, the Latino, and the Asian. Hoy estamos un día de celebrar el puente que estamos abriendo. Hoy estamos un día de decirle gracias a Dios por la oportunidad que nos da. A nombre del alcalde Rick Adams, estamos aquí diciéndole a los jóvenes, este puente de ustedes, nosotros administramos 800 puentes del Departamento de Transportación y trabajamos hombro con la gran comisionada sur del Departamento de Parque. Muchas gracias.
Hombre a hombre o hombre a mujer? Okay. Thank you so much, Commissioner Rodriguez. I appreciate it. So now I think we're hearing from Highbridge Voices. Is that correct? Is that what's happening next?
Oh, they're all the way in the back. All the Bronx kids are
Okay. We need Highbridge Voices up here.
Is there any way for you guys to like great?
I think these are some of the Highbridge Voices right here. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. This is good. Yeah, this is good. All right.
Highbridge Voices.
Woo, woo.
Let's go. Here we go. You guys got this.
Highbridge is 175, 175, 175. The famous Highbridge is 175, 175. It was built big and tall, big and tall, big and tall. It was built big and tall in 1848. We're high for the Highbridge. 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 We can go there and walk across, walk across, walk across. We can go there and walk across since 1848. We can go there and walk across, walk across, walk across. We can go there and walk across since 1848.
Let's go.
Let's go, let's go, walk. Let's go, let's go, let's go, walk. Let's go, let's go, let's go, walk. Let's go, let's go, let's go, walk. 175, 175, 175. The famous Highbridge 175, 175. Famous Highbridge is 175, 175, 175. The famous Highbridge is 175, 175.
Highbridge Voices. I love your voice.
All right. Thank you so much, Hybrid Voices. That was beautiful. Well done. So fitting for our celebration. Thank you. Now it gives me great pleasure to welcome our Bronx Borough Commissioner, Vanessa Gibson.
Oh, doesn't matter. Okay.
Good morning, everyone. If you are excited about the 175th anniversary of the Highbridge, make some noise. We are so excited for this historic day. What a beautiful day that we are blessed with. I am so grateful to be your Bronx Borough President. And on behalf of my team and I, we say welcome, bienvenidos. Welcome to each and every one of you for this incredible celebration of the 175th anniversary of the High Bridge. To Mayor Eric Adams and all of our distinguished commissioners, Commissioner Donoghue, Commissioner Oponte, Commissioner Perez, to our partners at the New York City Department of Parks and Recreation, the Department of Transportation, the Department of Environmental Protection, and DDC, to all of our organizations and partners that are with us. Now, I represent the Bronx, and my Manhattan BP is here. And this is the first time that we are bringing together 2 borough presidents, 3 council members, multiple commissioners, Manhattan and Bronx united, and all of the great things that bring us together. The organizations on the Bronx side of the High Bridge have been instrumental in working together. Shout out to Chauncy Young and the Harlem River Working Group. The Harlem River Working Group has been around for years. It has been their responsibility to make sure that we open this high bridge and provide access and opportunity for our children and families. The Bronx Children's Museum, the historic Children's Museum, is here with us today. New Settlement Apartments, High Bridge Voices. What about High Bridge Voices? Did you hear the beautiful sounds of our young people? We also have the Bronx is Blooming and Bridge Builders, New York City H2O, Harlem River Working Group. What about the High Bridge Public Library? We also have all of our schools from District 9 in the Bronx. Shout out to High Bridge. Partnership with parks and all of our park advocates. This is truly a beautiful day. It is a culmination of our commitment, consistency, dedication, our hard work, and labor of love to make sure that this high bridge is amplified. Many of the residents born and raised across this city, whether you live in northern Manhattan or you live in the Bronx, you remember that this bridge was closed back in 1970, the same year that it was designated as an official landmark. There were generations of families that were cut out and denied access to this high bridge. But during the Michael Bloomberg administration, recognizing that Plan YC created this opportunity to reopen this high bridge back in 2015 in June. And so it goes without saying that years later, we are recognizing the 175th anniversary. I served as the council member of this district at that time. And I remember longtime Congressman Jose Serrano and all of the champions that started this work before we came. We have to acknowledge those that came before us because they paved the way. They set the footprints for all of us to follow. And now this new generation of young people destined for success. This high bridge, ladies and gentlemen, is a beacon of hope and a beacon of opportunity. It is a safe space of recreation, of health and wellness. You can walk across the bridge. You can ride your bike across the bridge. You can cartwheel across the bridge. You can run across the bridge. 1,400 steps. How do we know, ladies and gentlemen? Because we counted. 1,400 steps. We've celebrated Arbor Day. We've brought together Manhattan and the Bronx to make sure that this high bridge is the beautiful beacon that it always deserved to be. For so long, for us in the Bronx, we have been denied access. Doors have been closed. We have been first in everything bad and last in everything good. But I got news for you. We are turning that narrative around, and the high bridge is a part of that. So I thank you to the Harlem River Working Group. A couple of weeks ago, Mayor Adams and Commissioner Rodriguez rode their bikes here on the High Bridge to announce a historic expansion of the Harlem River Greenway from Randall's Island all the way up to Van Cortlandt Park. Look at the beautiful scenery. Look at the water tower. You can see northern Manhattan. You can see High Bridge Gardens, Roberto Clemente State Park. To our members of our Community Board 4 and Community Board 12 in Manhattan, This is a collective effort because we all align together. We want our children to breathe clean air. We want to reduce our carbon footprint. We want to create healthy families and healthy children and healthy schools, healing-centered schools. So again, I am so grateful to be here. And of course, since I represent the Bronx, I just have to shout out my schools here. PS 11, PS 73, PS 114, PS 126, PS 199, MS 361, Garden of Dreams and Learning, all of our District 9 schools, our High Bridge community. We love you. Congratulations. Happy 175th anniversary, the High Bridge. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Borough President Gibson. Now it is my great pleasure to introduce the Manhattan Borough President, Mark Levine.
Wow, thank you so much. Happy 175th birthday, High Bridge. Now, let the record show, long before downtown had the High Line, we had the High Bridge up here. There's no place like this in New York City, no spot like this in New York City. We are celebrating interborough unity today. So if you agree with me that the two best boroughs in New York City are Manhattan and the Bronx, make some noise. Not necessarily in that order. And I want you to know that for a decade, my closest partner in government has been Vanessa Gibson. And that today, as borough presidents in the two best boroughs, we talk every day, usually complaining about something happening in one of the other three boroughs. But I couldn't be prouder to be partnering with you today. Give it up for Vanessa Gibson. And my fellow partners in government, Commissioner Ydanis Rodriguez, Councilmember Carmen de la Rosa, Councilmember Althea Stevens, Councilmember Ralph Salamanca. And as for the Parks Department, Commissioner, you're hitting it out of the park. And you have, no pun intended, and you have appointed two amazing borough commissioners for Manhattan and the Bronx. Now, I was a little worried when you appointed a Bronx kid to be the Manhattan commissioner. I didn't know that was legal. And I will say that I am confused every day for Anthony Perez. They call me the Manhattan Borough Commissioner. They call him the Manhattan Borough President. It happens every day. And now I'm happy he lives in the Bronx because I know he can't run against me. But Anthony Perez is amazing. Give it up for Commissioner, not President, Anthony Perez. And I'm going to say that Yesenia Ponte is doing a phenomenal job in the Bronx. So give her, I've known her from way back, from before she was cool. I've known her from way back. This bridge really tells the story of New York City. And when it was opened in the 1940s, it was a technological marvel. People came from all over the world to see this, to see what they did here. And, you know, the reason why there's a neighborhood called High Bridge on that side is because workers who built this bridge set up a camp there because they couldn't travel. And they were mostly Irish American immigrants. And they settled to make the permanent history of High Bridge there. And then in the 1860s, when technology was advancing and they needed flush toilets, they had to build this bridge, this tower, to add more pressure to the water system. So if you can flush your toilet today, you can thank High Bridge Tower. I think you should applaud for that. Who doesn't like indoor plumbing? But then going on into the 1950s and 1960s, this was a tough time for the city. And this bridge reflected that. And they shut this down in 1970, which probably was a huge mistake. And it cut this bridge off from the public, and it severed the tie between the Bronx and Manhattan. And then something magical started to happen in the 1990s. A group of citizen activists started to fight for the reopening of this bridge. On the Bronx side, on the Manhattan side, CB12 in Manhattan was huge in this. What's the community board here? I know CB4 was huge in this. Steve Simon was there. Where's Steve Simon? Our official borough historian of the parks. Liz Ritter was there on the Community Board 12 and many others. And they fought for reopening this bridge, and they won. It was because of citizen activism. And now a new generation has come on board, led by folks like Chauncy Young, Harlem River Alliance, to fight for continued access here. And so we have so much to celebrate. And I want the young people to know. I want Mott Hall to know. Hey, can Mott Hall make some noise? By the way, the principal of Mott Hall, Judy de los Santos, my friend for 30 years. Do we love Principal de los Santos? Yes, we do. Young people, I want you to see this bridge and know that if you dream big, we can do great things in our parks. And it won't be easy. It won't be cheap. But, you know, we have the the Hudson River access for the waterfront. That's going to cost a lot of money uptown from the lighthouse. We got to invest in that. For the kids in the Bronx, we got to daylight Tibbetts Brook. These are going to cost tens of millions of dollars, but they're going to transform communities the same way opening High Bridge did. So, young people, are you ready to continue to fight for parks? Are you ready to fight for investments in parks? In dreams, Borough President? Are you ready to fight for the two best boroughs in New York City? And they are Manhattan and the Bronx. Brevemente en español, como hizo nuestro comisionado. No lo esperaban, ¿verdad? Wow. Ok. Pues prepárense, ¿eh? Que les hablo hasta en hebreo si no se portan bien. Hoy celebramos el cumpleaños de este puente, el más anciano de Nueva York, no es el Brooklyn Bridge. 175 años acá, uniendo a dos comunidades que son los dos condados más chéveres de Nueva York, Manhattan y el Bronx, ¿no es así? Hoy celebramos lo que puede hacer inversiones en nuestros parques con los jóvenes que son la próxima generación, que hoy vemos que cuando se invierte en el espacio público cambia todo. Así que felicidades, cumpleaños feliz, que celebremos mucho más inversiones como esta. Now in Hebrew, just kidding. I can, but I won't subject you to that. Toda rabá, muchísimas gracias. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Borough President Levine. And now, please join me in welcoming Councilmember Carmen de la Rosa to the podium.
Well, I'm going to take a point of privilege and ask my sister Althea to stand here with me. Come here, Althea. Yes, Althea Stevens. We are the council members that represent the communities at the foot of these bridges. And I want to first give a big shout out and a big thank you to our parks commissioners, to Donoghue, all of the deputy commissioners for all they do. You know, we are here because we're dedicated to changing that narrative that communities that are usually on the outskirts of central Manhattan don't deserve. The things that we know our children deserve, the things we know our communities deserve, and the things we know our communities have deserved for a very, very long time. So as we celebrate 175 years, we also celebrate 175 years of common struggle, 175 years of partnership, 175 years of our communities coming together to celebrate not only who we are today, but who we were yesterday and who we will be in the future. So happy 175th birthday to High Bridge. And I really, really hope that you young people who are here, those that hail from Manhattan and those who hail from the Bronx, will meet in the middle often to celebrate the future of our communities. Happy birthday, High Bridge.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm speaking really loud because for some reason, I don't know how my kids on District 16 are in the back, but if y'all can make some space, because this is about the young people, right? We got to make sure we're making space for our young people in every area we are. And so I just want to make sure that we're making space for our young people who are also here from the Bronx side. So give it up for them. only the council member, I'm also the youth services chair. So it's always my privilege to make sure that us as adults are making space for young people in any room that I'm in. So that's what I do anytime, any place that I go. So I want to make sure we're uplifting them, because the reason we're here today is to celebrate them and so they can see the unity between these two boroughs and understanding the work that we're doing and the hard work that we're all putting forward. I also want to give a special shout out to the superintendent, Harry Sherman, who's working hard on the education side in District 9 and making sure our kids has all the services. I mean, the beautiful thing is when you go last, everyone's already thanked everybody, so you pretty much are done. So you can kind of just do your own thing. So I'm going to be quick and sweet, but I'm just really excited to be here today. And I'm honored to be able to represent half this bridge with my sister, Carmen de la Rosa. It's really special that we have a historic landmark that's here that we can all be proud of, because too often when you hear about anything that happens in my district and in Councilmember De La Rosa's district, it's usually the negative things. We don't talk about the beautiful things that we have, and there's so many beautiful things that we have in our communities. And it's important that we highlight these things, not only for us, but for our young people. We want to continue to make sure that they are proud of their communities and that they continue to do the work in their communities, and then they stay in their communities. Because that's another thing that we don't talk about enough. We want our young people to come here and stay in our communities and continue this work. And the reality is, my replacement is probably already here. One of these young people are probably going to take my seat. And that's what we want. We want them to see the work that we're doing. We want them to be a part of the work that we're doing so that they can then take the helm and do the work and be the next leaders. Because people say it all the time, young people are the future. I say young people are the now. They are the ones who are going to make the changes now. And it's up to us to give them the blueprint to do that. So thank you all for being here. And the celebration isn't over. I just want to say tomorrow at 4 p.m., we're going to be having a silent disco on the High Bridge. So if you're available, come out, have a good time. And then next week, what was it, the 15th? On June 15th, myself and Councilmember De La Rosa will be having a Pride celebration here on the bridge. So if you are interested, please come out and celebrate, and happy Pride.
Thank you to both council members for being here and speaking so beautifully about the Bronx and Manhattan. I'm now, please join me in welcoming Department of Design and Construction First Deputy Commissioner Eric Macfarlane.
What a beautiful day to celebrate this anniversary. So as you sit here, especially the young the students, who do you think build these bridges? Engineers, civil engineers, okay? And that's what I am. I am a civil engineer, graduate from City College of New York, right here. And we build beautiful things, bridges like this, all over the world. Okay, so this is a good career for you guys to get into. Think engineering. All right. So now we do many projects all over the city for many agencies, and the most beautiful projects that we do is for the Parks Department, and this is an example of this. This is a historical bridge, and we have to basically rehabilitate it, make it just like new, without disturbing or changing the way it looks. And that's what we have done. As you can see, in 2015, we completed this. We reopened it, and you can see the result. The other thing that's interesting about, that's satisfying about this bridge is that, in fact, as you heard many speakers say, it's a link between two communities, Manhattan and the Bronx on either side. Before that, even before the bridge was open, essentially kids from or families from the Bronx side could not get to the pool easily on the other side, on the Manhattan side. And as of now, this is going to be, it's a breeze. It's a beautiful walk from the Bronx to Manhattan to enjoy the parks at the High Beach Park. And with that, as I said, this is the most beautiful projects, one of the most beautiful projects that we've done for the City of New York and for the Parks Department. Thank you very much. Enjoy it. It's a beautiful day. And that's it then.
Thank you, Eric. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce Denise Rosario Aduse and the Bronx Children's Museum. Good morning. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I want us to take a moment and really appreciate the poetry of this moment. Can you hear me? Having the children from the Harlem side connect with the children from the Bronx side, this is a symbol of connections, of breaking barriers, of crossing barriers, and also just unifying communities. At the Bronx Children's Museum, we give voice to the children and we tell the stories. This bridge tells the story of our two communities. It tells the story of two communities who have overcome challenges and work together to really make some beautiful, beautiful stories. And we have here today someone who is an author, who is an actress, who is an amazing role model to all of us. I grew up with her. She taught me how to speak English. I've watched her my entire life. She wrote this wonderful story, The Lowdown on the High Bridge. This is a gift to all the children on this bridge, to all the children in Harlem, to all the children in the Bronx. This is what my generation, our generation gives to you. We want you to understand that this bridge is here to connect all of us. We know that you are the future. This bridge tells the story of where you come from, who are your ancestors. And we want you to walk across and connect with one another. And we are all role models here for the children who are in Harlem and the Bronx. And I want to introduce to you one of the biggest role models of my life, Sonia Manzano.
Thank you, Denise. In 2015, Carla Precht, a founding director and creator of the beautiful Bronx Children's Museum, asked me to write a book, this book about the High Bridge. And I thought, what are we going to do that for? Nobody goes there. It's closed. I never even heard of it. And she said, well, don't worry, it's going to open and people are going to want to go there. So she had vision. So we started this in 2015. How old are you kids? How old were you 8 years ago? Wait, you weren't born 8 years ago? No, okay, so look. So when you were 2 or 3 years old, Carla Precht says, let's write this book and let's open the Bronx Children's Museum, because she had vision. And I think that's a very important idea to nurture. It's okay to start a project that you might not be around to see fulfilled. So that said, thank you very much for inviting me. I hope you like this book. It was my pleasure to write it. And visit the Bronx Children's Museum. Thank you.
Thank you, Sonia, and thank you, Denise, for being here with us today. Next, it gives me great pleasure to welcome Chauncy Young of the Harlem River Working Group and Leonardo Coelho.
Who didn't get a call or an email from Chauncy? Yes, Chauncy. The man of the hour. Yes. Birthday boy. Birthday boy.
So I'm going to make this short because I know we've been here a long time. But I want to just say that I was chairperson of the High Bridge Coalition when we were organizing to reopen this bridge. And it's decades of community effort to organize for this bridge. There was also community organizing to keep this bridge open, because after World War I, with the expansion of water transit, there was actually a plan to knock this bridge down so that we could get bigger boats on the Harlem River, and community organized to keep this bridge open. And so we're standing right now on the metal section that was built to be the compromise so that this bridge could remain open. There used to be aqueduct, the Roman arches all across the water, but to allow boats to safely navigate, the compromise was to balance this out and keep this in. But that's community organizing, right? So as I'm looking around, I also want to introduce my daughter, Isabel Young Figueroa. Now, Isabel was a High Bridge historian in middle school And she was the one that we had speak along with Jasmine, another High Bridge historian, because it is yourselves, the youth, that are going to lead us in keeping this bridge strong and building our communities. So without further ado, I don't want to take any more time. I heard there's cookies on the Manhattan side, and we're also going to get a tour of the water tower and the the gatehouse. I also just want to mention, if folks look to our north, we have a fireboat shooting water up into the air, celebrating the High Bridge right now with us. So I want to pass it over to Leonardo from the mayor's office to read a proclamation about High Bridge Day.
Thank you so much, Chauncy. Before I start, at the count of 3, can we wish Chauncy a happy birthday? Tomorrow's his birthday. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday! Again, thank you so much. Hold up. No. They asked if he was 175.
No, sir. No, sir.
Thank you again. So again, my name is Leonardo Coelho. I am your Bronx director from the mayor's office. The mayor sends his regards. He apologizes he couldn't be here today. But just some quick words from the proclamation. The High Bridge and the tower in both New York City landmarks, and the bridge shares an Aqueduct National Historic Landmark destination. Today, I am pleased to join in celebrating the milestone anniversary of the storied viaduct that embraces the remarkable built environment and exemplifies the bundles of creativity, resilience, and spirit innovation that defines the 5 boroughs together. We look forward to this vital public space and the Greenway link continuing to unite, uplift New Yorkers and visitors of all backgrounds for years to come. Now, therefore, on behalf of our mayor, Eric Adams, New York City, I do hereby proclamate Tuesday, January 6, 2023, New York City, High Bridge Day.
You got it. Thank you so much, brother.
Congratulations.
All right. High Bridge Day. That's it. So now? Yes, I know. We have one more. I know.
Exactly. And now we have students from Mott Hall are going to lead us in singing Happy Birthday to the Bridge. So take it over, Mott Hall.
We should have somebody on the mic.
I know.
Hear them.
You don't want that. You don't want a mic on that.
Yes. You should be on the microphone. Come on in. Join in on the microphone, y'all. Come on. You come in this way. Watch out.
Come on, guys.
No stress.
Oh, shoot.
Okay, come over here. Y'all, there's no space, Freddie. Come on, girls. Get in.
I'll just stand over here,
Can
guys.
you hear us here? All right. Okay.
There's enough room.
1. You look this way. 1, 2, 3. Start us off. Happy birthday to you. High Bridge. Happy birthday to you. High Bridge. Happy birthday, dear High Bridge. Happy birthday to you. Woo! Let's go! Woo! My horn!
I love the bridge. I love the bridge.
We love you, Mr. Dos Santos!
For real.
I love the blue.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. Thank you all for coming today and celebrating with us. What a fitting celebration for this spectacular bridge. Now, as Chauncy mentioned, when you stand up, please, I'd like to direct your attention off the side of the bridge as an FDNY fireboat will cap our ceremony by shooting water cannons into the air. So enjoy.